Hi, my name is Jordan Turner, and this is going to be my persuasive counter-argument speech. So, my first speech was over the importance of service animals and why it is important to keep them, with the same social standing and the same professionalist, idea around them. So, this speech is going to be, is it really that important to keep these animals with that professional standing? Is it really that important to make sure that they are, allowed in all these areas? What's the big deal about it? Why can't I just bring my dog into anywhere with me? I'm trying to show you why, you can do that, but why it's not really ideal for everyone. So basically, with service animals, as stated previously, they are used for an abundance of medical issues, as well as Ready to Help 2011 explains very well how they are used in schools for children who need help reading and might not always be able to, go into schools without the social anxiety or, things such as that. So basically, service animals are easily taken for granted. They can be kind of pushed off and, in a sense, not really seen as important or seen as professionals or, realize the importance of them. So a big question is, why can't I just take my dog everywhere? Why can't I just take my untrained animal into Target or Walmart or a restaurant with me? What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is it's not necessarily a big deal. However, it does, jeopardize regular professional service animals. It does jeopardize their standings in some restaurants or in some buildings, as well as it making it harder for people who even own trained service animals without ID badges. Not all dogs come with ID badges. Some of them do, some of them don't, depending on where you get them trained. People who get them trained in places that don't provide ID badges are finding it even hard for themselves to get their regular service animals in due to, the behavior of non-trained service animals. So service animals in retail environment, this one really hits home for me because I am a Target employee. When people bring in their untrained animals, dogs, it doesn't seem like a big deal. We've even had monkeys been brought in, and it doesn't seem like a big deal to the general public. It seems as though, oh, I'm just going to bring my dog in really quickly. However, even if your dog doesn't act unprofessional or it doesn't act as though it's going to make a mess or anything like that, some dogs and owners do make messes. They do bark at people. They do, act aggressively towards people, and that can be a problem for service animals. They'll claim that, oh, it's a service animal, and then they make a mess, so that puts a stigma on the real service animals. And, with animals that aren't dogs, well, why can't I bring my monkey or my cat or my emotional support fish? We get it all the time to where people just want to bring in their animal, whether it's a teacup-sized chihuahua, which are not necessarily service animals. Service animals are usually larger. They want to bring in their small dog or their cat or their monkey, which is not a huge problem. It's a problem when people overuse that privilege or they abuse that privilege for animals that are not going to behave the way that they are needed to behave. When people are also not behaving the way that they need to behave. Not every person on this earth is going to treat service animals or the guidelines for them with respect. And that's a big part of having a service animal, is treating the guidelines with respect. That's a big part of being a service animal owner, is respecting the rules and following all of the rules and cleaning up after your animal, which is not something that service animals do. They do not make messes in public. They alert their owner to let them know that they need to go outside, and then they come back in, which is not something that untrained animals do. But overall, you might not see it as a big deal to bring in your untrained animal, and it's not always a big deal. It is a big deal for the people who misuse the privilege, and I feel like it should be more widely spread to not bring your animal in, you know. Try your best to leave them in the car, not leave them in the car, leave them at the house, you know, or if somebody is in the car, leave them in the car with them with the AC turned on, you know. You don't need to take your untrained animal in with you, but if you do, also make sure to follow all the guidelines. You know, do not let them use the bathroom, do not let them bark, do not let them bite, do not let them cause a scene so as to not diminish regular service animals' reputations. Thank you.